Hey, so this is gonna be introduction part two, I guess. So I didn't know how far back to go. So most of you know that my two boys are in a foster home. I don't really want to talk about the details of them getting taken away because that's very emotional for me. Um, but I was happy with the feedback I got from people when I told them because I had stopped talking to my friends who were sober because I knew what I was doing. I was ashamed. Once you're in that lifestyle, you just talk to people who do the same things that you do. So I was off Facebook for a long time, about a year. I went MIA because I knew I had to get my crap together. I had to change, and you can't change unless you really want to change for yourself. No matter what people tell you or preach at you, or you're not gonna change unless you really want it for yourself. And you've got to want it for yourself first. So I was happy with the feedback I got from people I slowly reached out to. Because I didn't post it out there at first, like, hey everyone, I had a drug problem, now I'm back. It's embarrassing, and uh, but the majority said, it's not the past that defines you, it's what you do now, and that meant a lot to me. Um, so let's see, what else can I talk about? So a lot of people go to rehab. I didn't go to rehab. When I quit, I just quit cold turkey. Like I said, I was literally scared sober, so I stopped. And yeah, it was really hard. For about maybe 2-3 months, I felt like I was dying, detoxing, because this was 2022. So I went from having a baby January 1st, 2022, to detoxing. Well, before that, I lost my house I was living in, and it wasn't even due to drugs. It was, I don't want to get into all those details just for legal and privacy reasons, but someone kicked me out and made me sell a childhood home and had nowhere to go. So I went from having a baby, losing everything, to detoxing, to my first job was as a janitor at Whirlpool, and that was freaking awful. It was so bad. So yeah, I felt like I was dying for a while, but I pushed through and I made it. Um, what else should I talk about? No one's really asked me questions yet. My main motivation are my kids, of course, and my boyfriend is sober with me, and that helps a lot when you change your environment, when you get away. So, I know a lot of people say isolating isn't good, but I had to get away. I had to change what rehab said, change your people, places, and things. So, I just had to get away from everyone and just heal and forgive and work on myself and change and just really work hard. So that's how I got to where I am now. It's been a long, long road, long journey. So I'm not really sure what to touch on. Um, Currently, I have completed my permanency plan. DCS is really hard to deal with, though. I don't even know where to start with them. I've been through 3 or 4 caseworkers. Uh, oh, and fun thing is, this past December, I was accused of using, and it was just my medication in my hair. Because, I vape CBD for my anxiety, but it has some real THC in it. So they said, oh no, that's one substance for another. You can't do that. When first they said it was okay. Then they said, no, that's not okay. So oh, we recommend you to go here, get prescribed these drugs that are going to be worse for you. But I'm on them. I was diagnosed with really high anxiety, PTSD, and it's hard for me to get to sleep. So my medication showed up in my hair. They didn't believe me. They didn't let me do a medical review. They denied me unsupervised visits with my kids. February, my nail bed test came back clean, so it is more accurate. And they don't take accountability for anything. So they accused me falsely, made me take another drug therapy class, which was super boring to me, because I had already done one. I paid for individual drug therapy because I'm not good with groups of people. It's awkward to me, and I wanted one-on-one, and I paid for it, so I thought they might be like, okay, she's paying for it, she really needs it. But they don't care. They just see what's on paper, and that's that. And they judge you no matter what. But currently, I'm waiting to go back to court and get approved unsupervised visits, and I now have a place to live. We move in June 1st, and we've been living in a camper, and it's not suitable for the kids, but no, it was a big step for me because I wasn't homeless anymore. Not sure what to talk about next. Speaking about my medication, though, back to that, another thing, it was really hard getting sober. I became a hermit. I was very uncomfortable talking to people, going anywhere, and I was very triggered by families or kids. I had a couple friends who had asked me to take them shopping because they didn't have a car. Okay, can you take me here? Okay, we're going to come inside. And, that right there slowly got me more comfortable with the public. Not as awkward. I could slowly handle more and more each time. So that built my tolerance up. And, things still trigger me. It's still there, but I can deal with it better. And it went as far as I'd be driving and I would think I heard my kids, like Zion, because Judah couldn't talk at the time. I thought I heard Zion in the back of the car, and I knew clearly, I knew he wasn't there. It's just things like that, which they said that was normal because it was trauma. So that was really hard to get through. I don't know how many times I would reach out to a few of my friends and be like, hey, is this normal? Or have I lost my mind completely now? So every day was a battle. Every day is still a battle. It's not over. It's always something with DCS. Currently, they want me to take a hair follicle test. It's not even been 2 months since I've done my nail bed test. And they said, it'll help the case, not harm it. But my medication's still going to show up. It's going to fail me. If I don't do it, it could automatically fail me. So I think I need to reach out to the head supervisor. Because I'd rather just do another nail bed test. At this point, I do feel kind of targeted, personally attacked, and they don't take accountability for anything. Like, there was an issue with, they told me I was not allowed to my son's basketball games or practices. The educational rights did not include games, and they were wrong, and that caused me to miss his whole season of basketball. And they didn't care. They're not going to say we're sorry. They're not going to take any kind of responsibility for it. They're not going to try and make up for it in any way. They're just going to keep accusing me and judging me. And it's really hard to deal with. They honestly had me so messed up. I was like, oh my gosh, did you do drugs and forget? Like, it was ridiculous. But I just had to keep calling the head supervisor, and then at the time I wasn't anything about practices, and she said, no, you're allowed to go to practices and games. It's a public event. And now that's straightened out.